So my name is Jim Pickett. I'm from Chicago, and part of what I do is I lead the International Rectal Microbicide Advocates, or IRMA. And IRMA is a global network that was formed in 2005 to help push forward an agenda around rectal microbicides. At the time, we were hearing a lot about vaginal microbicides, and we felt there needed to be advocacy for rectal microbicides because people have anal sex. Key populations have anal sex, like gay men and other men who have sex with men, sex workers. But the general population, men and women of all genders, have anal sex, and there wasn't a lot of discussion about that. So we wanted to bring that to the forefront. And we've long been very committed to our partners in Africa. We've done a bunch of really, I think, cool projects in Africa. Over the years, we had a project called Project ARM, Africa for Rectal Microbicides, which was all about making sure that researchers and stakeholders in Africa thought about rectal microbicides as much as they thought about vaginal, to understand that people would need both. We also did a really cool project, I think, I'm biased, but we did a nice project called GLAM, Global Lube Access Mobilization, and that idea actually came out of a Project ARM, our Africa for Rectal Microbicides initiative. We had a 2-day kind of conference or meeting in Addis Ababa in advance of ACASA several years ago. And in that meeting, advocates came up with this idea, hey, even before we think about rectal microbicides, Africa needs lube. There's not enough lube. And our key pops need lube. And we hand out condoms, but condoms without lube is a problem. You need both. If you're going to be able to use a condom and keep it on and not break and enjoy sex, which are all important, you need lube. And there wasn't, it's hard to get lube in certain places in Africa, so we wanted to have an advocacy project to help put that on the agenda. While we're developing microbicides, while we're coming up with new technologies to prevent HIV, we're getting people things that they need now. And right now the US government is saying they're only interested in long-acting products, systemic products, products that are administered in the clinic. And we think those are important, but we also think we need choices, and we need choices that are also short-acting. Choices that you can control yourself, that you can use when you need them and not use them when you don't need them, that don't have drug going through your whole body. So when I say systemic, I mean drug in your whole body. If it's non-systemic, it's just drug where you put it. So it's either in the vagina or in the rectum. And some people don't want to be exposed to drug throughout their body. So we want to make sure that we have choice. So we've been talking a lot at this meeting, HIV-R4P in Madrid, to make sure that choice stays on the research agenda and that we don't limit people's options by the research we're doing. And I think this will be important for Africa. To bring it back to key pops, we've always been really concerned and interested in the needs of key pops. And we know that they need more than HIV prevention options, right? We have to also address and be allies in the social justice framework, because we might have great options, but if people are criminalized, if people are afraid to be who they are, if people are pushed underground, they won't have access to these things. So we need to be in alliance with human rights defenders, people for pushing for social justice, people for decriminalizing homosexuality and gay people and sex work. We're in alliance with all that. I can't say we're experts on all that, but we have allies who are doing that work, and that work is just as important as developing new products.